Alright guys, so today, I don't know if you can see here, but we're going to be replacing the parking light on a 2014 Subaru Impreza. As you can see, the one bulb right on this side here is burnt out. You can see that one. It's like a light, small little bulb there. We're going to go ahead and replace them today with these Ayla lighting LED bulbs. So we're going to go ahead and install it and see how much brighter these are, and hopefully they last longer. And I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how I go about installing these. Alright, so first things first, we're going to locate where the bulbs are located here, okay? So for the one side here, which would be the driver's side, you want to look on the battery side, and right behind this metal bracket here, it goes from your windshield washer fluid reservoir, you'll see some wires back behind here, okay? And right here, you'll see your turning signal, which is on the bottom, and then on top, right here, that little slotted gray section there, that's your parking light bulb. So that's the one we're going to go ahead and replace, okay? So that's for the driver's side. On the passenger side, we're going to remove this plastic cover here. We're just going to remove these pins here so that we can get a little bit better access. Sorry there. Put the flashlight in the way here. So that we can gain better access to these wires back here. And you see that little gray box there, that's that little, that's the bulb right there, the parking bulb. So we're going to go ahead and twist that. They're slotted. You see this little slot right there? So we're going to go ahead and I'm using a little pry bar that I bought at Harbor Freight to remove trim. And it comes in handy for things like this. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing the driver's side first. Alright, so a little bit of a change of plans here. I tried to use these plastic pry bars. However, they were too thick to actually reach the bulb. So what I did was I went ahead and got this extension. But if you have a long flathead screwdriver, that's all you really need in order to go ahead and insert it right back here. Because what you want to do, you want to be able to insert it in that slot there and twist it counterclockwise. So with this extension here, or a long flathead screwdriver, you could do the same thing. You can go ahead and twist it off. See, this is a slotted end I was telling you about, that you want to get like a flathead screwdriver in there and twist it counterclockwise, and it doesn't take much. It's like a quarter turn, and then you'll see this pop up here. You may have to reach in there and just wiggle it out. So that's the old bulb right there. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to show you the new bulb I'm going to replace it with. Alright, so this is the new LED bulb from Ayla Lighting. We're going to go ahead and install. We're going to go ahead and, before we put everything back, we're going to go ahead and just start the car to make sure that the polarity is set correctly, because sometimes, depending on what car you're installing it in, you have to insert this a certain way. You can see that these are it's like a flat blade type, but sometimes you have to match the polarity. So we're going to go ahead and insert it, give it a shot. Okay, so with my car, I did have to actually take this out and just flip it over because I had inserted it the first time with the incorrect polarity. But that's all it is. If you notice, you put it in, you put the LED bulb in, and you start the car, you go to start it, and the bulb doesn't turn on. Perhaps it's as simple as just popping it out, flipping it over to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and install it now. You can see how much thinner this is. And in a minute, you'll see how much more brighter as well. Alright guys, so we went ahead and installed the driver's side light. And we're going to go ahead now and we're going to remove this panel right here, we're going to pop off these little spacers here, one here and another one here. And basically you just want to take a little flathead screwdriver and pop these off right here. They're not screwed in or anything. They're in there with like a little bit of pressure. You just got to pop them off, and then this cover should come off, and it'll allow us to access back behind this light a little better. So it'll be easier to go ahead and remove this light bulb. So I'll go ahead and show you that in a second. All right, you see, so you just was using these pry bars that I had gotten from Harbor Freight. It's usually used to remove trim, but you can see once you get this little head right here wedged in here, you just pull out and the whole thing pops out. So then when we go to put it back after we're done here, you just basically go ahead and remove this. It's a two-piece clip here, and then you squeeze this in, put it back, and then slide that back. So we'll do that once we finish here. Wedge this here, and you see how this head right here just popped out? So you go ahead and just insert this right here, pop it out a little bit further, and then you see how it comes off right there. Okay, so we'll just put this aside here so we don't lose it, and then this cover slides right off. And just put it aside here. Alright, so as you can see with the cover off now, I have access to this wiring harness right there. And you can see right there, that little gray slotted tab right there. That is the parking light. So we're going to go ahead and insert a flathead screwdriver in that little slotted holder right there. And we're going to turn it counterclockwise, and it should pop right out there. Alright, so I went ahead and just put a flathead screwdriver in along this side here and twisted this counterclockwise, and this popped right out. It's about a quarter turn. That's all it takes for it to pop out. Same thing when you go to put it back in, you'll insert it matching these little tabs in the hole here, and you'll turn it clockwise about a quarter turn. So this is the original bulb here. You can see that it has one of these little blade type of inserts here, and I'm going to show you the LED bulb again that we're going to replace it with. Stop. The original bulb, as you can see, it was starting to turn black here. You can tell that sooner rather than later it was going to burn out. And then this is the new ALA LED. It's like a chip replacement that we're going to put in. You can see that they go in the same way. So we're going to go ahead and insert that now. Alright, so I went in, put the key in the ignition, turned it so that the lights would come on, and I noticed that the light did not turn on. So what does that mean? I have to take out the bulb, flip it over. I'm going to show you here in a second. Just basically take this out, flip it around, and insert it in so that the polarity matches up. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the key back in the ignition, and the light should turn on. Turned on. Actually, the polarity was not backwards in this case. What was wrong is the contacts in here were not making good contact with the LED bulb, so I went ahead and had to pry them a little bit closer to the actual light bulb. So we're going to go ahead and insert this back in. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled this head right here, and you can see once you do that, it allows clearance for these little tabs to be able to go ahead and flatten out. So we're going to go ahead and do that and insert this cover back. Right, so we go ahead and we flatten out these tabs, insert them back in there, and then just push down on the tab, and see, it pushes in and it activates, it just locks right there. So go ahead, pull this one out, do the same thing here, and just push it in. And that's it. That's all. So let's go ahead and get this started so you can see the brightness of these parking lights now. It's kind of hard to tell how much more brighter they are because it's still quite a bit light out. So I'm going to go ahead and record it at night so that you can really fully appreciate how much brighter these are. But they really are. I would say probably about 2 to 3 times brighter than the original stock light bulbs. Really impressed. All right, and there you can see the after. You can see how much brighter these LED parking lights are. So I'm really satisfied with how it turned out. So hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, I would appreciate you hitting like. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I would encourage you to please do so. Thanks.